And yeah,
Do you have the timestamp for when you play?
on this VOD I sent you.
Yeah.
Um, I can get there. Let me check real quick. This is Koopa. Yeah, so it's like 2:20.
I saw a blue peach, so like 230, 225, that kind of range.
Yeah. Yeah, it starts at like 2:13. It looks like.
Amazing. Roughly. I'm heading there now.
And that night actually was a good night. This wasn't the one from the other day that I was telling you about because I didn't play on stream at any of those. But I did still lose this set, and so like if we do VOD review, it would be good to look at it still.
Well, no. What I want to ask you is like, were you feeling unsettled in this set when you sat down? Like what is going through Michael's head here?
Sure, I don't know if I specifically was feeling unsettled as much as when I like make a bracket run like that. Every additional set I win starts to feel luckier and luckier, and then I'm feeling good. Like I definitely went in feeling good, but I also was sort of like, how can I? Like I was feeling good, and in fact, like because I knew I was gonna get at least third from this one. And so I was like, I performed well, so I can go home happy. And then that sort of became a reason to not play super well because I kind of was like,
yeah, you checked out.
Yeah, I already did good. I kind of checked out. I still tried, like I definitely tried, yeah. But like I did kind of check out.
Yeah, like you tried insofar that you could, but like at the same time, when you put out the fire, it's you've put out the fire. Even if your hands do everything you want, even if your hands do all the things we think that they should in that set, like we've also put out the fire. And the fact, like that passion, that drive, whatever you want to, like that will to win, that whatever you want to call it, it is kind of part of competing well because it's the thing that tells us don't give. Like, have you ever, as a floaty, you get up smashed by Fox and like the Fox is up 3-1. You got up, you know you're not going to die, but you're like, I'm down 2-0.
Yeah.
I'm going to die, and like I'm going to lose this anyway. You just hold to the left or right to die a little bit, like just to get it over with. Have you ever done that?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I've done that too. And you know what? That is the one play that makes it so that you 1000% never win that set.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So like it matters. Like here, you said that. So what do you think is going on in terms of like? Yeah, so you two are fighting each other now. Okay, cool. What do you think is going on in your head? Like, where are you at right now? You said you walked into this feeling kind of like, okay, I've done my job today, but like, what do you think is happening now that you're fighting?
Now that I'm fighting, I think it's, I'm aware that I'm playing a top 100 level player, and I really want to make the upset.
So it comes back then?
Yeah, it comes back, but I also had lost to a Marth. I lost to a Marth who sent me to losers.
Does that matter?
So I think I was like trying to prove to myself that I wasn't shit at the Marth matchup, essentially.
So wait, how does losing to Koopa Troopa, who's a top 100 player and like excellent at this game because of it, how is losing Marth Peach to him in this losers final set prove that you are bad at the matchup in any capacity?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a very logical question. Yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't. Yeah, it definitely doesn't prove that.
So isn't this matchup like a 6-4 anyway, like, or something? Like, so even if you did lose to somebody in winners, like, can you really, like, do you really expect to win, like, all your 6-4s every time?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess not.
I mean, like, maybe if you're, like, top 10 level, but we're not top 10 level. I think you're quite I think you're quite sturdy, but I don't think you're top 10.
Completely fair.
Yeah, so like I think that I think that it's possible, however unlikely, that we have unrealistic expectations of ourselves or are trying to ascribe meanings to something that can't give us the meaning we're hoping for it to give.
Yeah. Right.
So maybe it's maybe a good practice before the set is to check in with ourselves and be a little bit honest about where we're at, but also like understand that if it's not something that we can actually do, maybe we need to change our thinking pattern.
Do you mean like if it's not something that we can do because of how we're feeling that day, or if it's not something we can do just like because of
because it's impossible.
Yeah.
So right. So as an example, you're saying, you know, I want to beat this guy to prove to him that I'm not atrocious at Marth versus Peach.
Yeah.
Whether or not you win or lose versus Koopa Troopa is not what determines that.
Mm-hmm.
It is the decisions you make, because he could just be playing out of his mind, and you could be playing out of your mind and playing the best Marth best Marth Peach that at this level of play that anyone has ever seen, and he could still win because he's playing the best Marth versus Peach at this level that anyone's ever seen. Like, it could just happen. So this has nothing to, like, the outcome has nothing to do with whether you're good at it or not.
Yeah. Wow.
So maybe what do you think we're really trying to use this set to get? Like, we're trying to use it it's something to do with reassurance. That much is clear.
Yeah.
But what do you think you're trying to get out of it? Or
I am trying to, I think the root of it is like I'm trying to prove that I can compete at top 100 level. Like or that like top 100 is like within arm's reach if I, work hard enough and play well enough.
Can this set prove that to you?
I think
it can prove that you can hang with them, but like top 100 isn't just like hanging with good players, because every region says they have like 3 people ish that are like secretly top 100 level, but they're not top 100, and it's because conditions matter. Like our ability to travel, our ability to go to majors. Top 100 is not just how skilled you are at the game, and I think that's like something that's tough for people to like get their head around sometimes. But like it's also like how your ability to go to majors, your ability to travel. There's like a lot of things that go into it. This is part of it, but it is not all of it. So there's a limit to how much this can really reflect on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
So I think what we're really looking for is a way to like cope. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the real thing that we should be looking for is a way that we can cope with the feeling of uncertainty about our skill level.
Mm-hmm. It literally is that. You said it so well. It's that.
Okay, so what helps you feel more secure?
Like honestly, not to be overly simplistic, but it literally like in my mind comes down to if I'm winning or losing. Like if I'm winning more than I'm losing, and if I'm winning like a certain percentage of the games that I play, then I feel good about my skill level, and if I'm not, then I feel bad about it. It kind of is like that simple.
Okay, but we know that like we don't control the outcome of winning, so I think we need to be a little bit more. We need to loosen up our what we're willing to work with here, because that's not a realistic thing that we can count on every single time. Yeah. You know what? Like as you get better, you will be able to lean in. You will be able to lean into that a little more. Like, but I don't think it should be the core of how we find reassurance, because it's not something that we ultimately control.
Yeah.
What's something that we do control that you think that helps you?
I guess like neutral. Like if we're talking about like in the game itself, maybe just like making more good decisions and fewer poor decisions, sort of thing. Okay.
And what's something measurable that we can do, something we can control that helps us stay in touch with that?
Probably like VOD review.
Or making sure VOD review's good. So like habits, like maybe making sure that we're implementing the new things that we make. Like maybe making a habit of, if there's something that I lost to that I don't understand, I will look at it. I will come up with a solution. I will implement the solution. So it's more about the habit, because then what that does is, well, actually, you tell me. What do you think it does?
The like looking for a solution, or like being conscious of trying to implement things you're working on. You mean?
Yeah. Like, so let's pause here. So let me ask you. Let's say that you're fighting Marth here, and he's just getting you with this ledge stall. Like, you keep trying to deal with it for whatever. Like, I'm not saying this is happening, but like hypothetically, we just can't beat this ledge stall for some reason. So you know that this was frustrating. You wind up losing to him. You're like, man, I'm really disappointed. But you know that you're going to look at this later, figure out what the heck you do about this, and come back with a solution for next time. What do you think? What do you think that does? That like ritual, that habit does when you sit down to play the next Marth?
I think it sort of puts that in your like a mental cue, I guess, maybe like unconsciously. It helps you basically like it helps you do sort of live VOD review, if I can invent that term. Basically, like when you're playing, if you've been doing what you're talking about, then you can sort of see the situation before it comes and adjust accordingly.
Yeah, like you kind of know what you're like. If you see this situation happen the next, like in that match with that next Marth player, you'll know what to do. But but I'm thinking before you're in the match, when you sit down to play, when you've just started, when you're striking stages, what do you think? How, do you think you're still worried about that previous match?
I mean, ideally, no, right?
You tell me.
When you say previous match, you mean the one that like we did the VOD review in this hypothetical scenario for?
Yeah, the one where you looked at it later after you got ledge stalled out of the game. You looked at it later. You said, "Oh, okay, I could do the turnips this way. I could do the I could follow up the turnips with the float like at this angle, and it deals with these things, and then that would kill him." Like that's what I mean.
Yeah, I think. I mean, my ideal would be like I don't want to be actively, consciously thinking about it while I'm playing, but also before we play, just be like, try to be like cognizant of what I've been working on. Like if I can not fall in that situation this set, then I've done something right.
Yeah. So, in my experience, when I've looked at like how I lost to someone after the fact, and then I've come up with a solution and I practiced it, I've tested it in the field, I know it works. Like I've labbed it out if necessary, then I find that I don't really think about the set I lost to the whatever it was, when I plug in against the next person playing that character. Because it's just out of sight, out of mind. Like I already know what I did wrong there. I already know what the biggest thing that contributed to my loss was, and I have already taken steps to correct that. And it might not be the biggest thing, but it might be like the biggest actionable thing, the biggest thing that I can concretely work on, that can be solved with a move, something like that. And I think that really it's the out of game, like from what you're describing, I feel like it's the out of game habits that we might want to like look into here, because you're doing really well against him. Like this looks good. I love how you're doing the edge guard here. You're keeping him contained in the edge. The down air is a little ambitious, but I like the vision. I think we had to move like back a bit. It's all good. Yeah. But like you see how you're like applying pressure. You're finding ways to stay close to him. This is all wonderful. That we needed to like go a little sooner, but the idea was good. Like the edge guard itself, what like the structure on it was good. So here's what was good about this. So you throw this turnip up. What you need to be doing right now is like dropping the turnip or fast falling to grab edge like sooner.
Yep, I see that.
Yeah, because if we drop the turnip, then it bonks him. So even if we get hit by that up B, we can probably DI to the like stage or something, and then like down smash him or whatever. He's at 132, and that's fine. He might not die, but we get like more hits. We keep advantage state going. Yeah.
Ooh.
I like the attempt on the Nair there, like after the down tilt, because I feel like it's pretty common for him to like run forward and grab after that, and if you Nair there, then like that beats that.
Yeah.
I love the stand there.
Yeah, we were just waiting to see who was gonna bite first. I remember that was a fun moment.
Yeah, you won the standoff.
Yeah, that was a bad spot dodge.
It's okay. You won the standoff previously. It's all good. Like, you're playing really well here. You look good.
Thank you. It's funny, like, I really did feel like because this is game 1, right?
Yep.
Yeah, this is the game that I won. and I was on like cloud 9 after I took that one game, and then game 2 I lost. If I'm remember, I haven't watched the whole thing back, but if I'm remembering correctly, I think game 2 was kind of a wash. But then game 3 was super close, and game 4 was also super close. And game 4 I actually like was convinced that I was gonna win, and then I think there was just like some wonky. I think I made like a wonky choice, and he capitalized, and then I died. But it did feel like a pretty. I was definitely overall satisfied with how I played during the set, especially given the way that the winner set against SF went.
We need to. What I want to point out here is like think of it. Listen to all like the qualifiers we have in this though. Like we started like thinking about I figured I'd won. Like I figured that like I'd won. This was better than I expected. Like
Yeah.
I guess the big thing here is like, do you see how like that is impacting your? Do you see how that might have an impact on your like play decisions and like overall level of, your overall level of engagement? Because like, yeah, I am concerned. Like, and then you're on cloud 9 after this one, but like, while this is a great showing, he's still got 2 more games to win,
Right.
and he's not going to make it easy on his counter pick,
Right.
So I think that I think what you're going through is you're starting to get like a lot stronger, and as such, there's like certain growing pains where it's like, all of a sudden these people are beatable. All of a sudden I can see like what I gotta do.
Yeah.
And then it's very exciting.
Yeah. It's totally also like, I don't know, sometimes I think about, I just like remember when I was like the truest O2er, like the truest O2er, and like it can be hard to shake that sometimes, because like the first tourney set that not that I ever went to, but like after I took many years off my lane, came back, was against Aklo at Nightclub.
Ooh.
And like obviously he like trounced me, double 4 stock, and like I think that sometimes I just like I'm mid, like I just like part of my inner narration about my skill is like I'm mid and I have to prove that I'm not mid. But like you're completely right. It's like that thought, even if it's not, I'm not literally saying that when I'm in this set, right? I'm not saying like I'm fucking mid or anything, but like it kind of is it's a little bit in the DNA of the way that I like think about it. And I think you're pinpointing that spot on right now.
Yeah, we need to change like, and I think that this is a thing that like goes beyond just like the in-game decisions here. And that's why I'm thinking that like it probably makes sense to like build better habits outside of the game, so we have more to be confident in, more to be proud of. Like there's a little bit more assurance we're building into our like tournament experience by just kind of like making a commitment to ourselves that even if nothing else, we will know why we lost.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably should grab there.
It's all good. You're beating him up here. I know it's gonna go downhill. You've promised me as such, but like this still looks good. Like this is not an easy matchup on this level at all, and like he's very, very good. What I really like about what you're doing, I like how you're mixing up where you go after your air dodges. That's something that's like really standing out to me, because like
Cool.
I feel like a lot of times when Peach air dodges forward here, they just keep holding forward, and Marth, like you see where he moves, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's expecting you to basically come back and so he can, like, fair dare you or, like, fair smash you, and then you move outside of the fair because he jumped. Like, that's perfect. Like, I don't know if you knew he was going to do that or, like, just, like, did it because you wanted to, like, vary your landing. It doesn't really matter, but, like, it was good. It was good. It was a good play.
Cool.
Yeah, like, honestly, like, this guy's getting away with, like, a lot of stuff at the edge. I feel like, so let's actually talk about this situation. So when he's on the edge like this, so what do you think the game plan is? Like, what do you think your goal is, and what do you think his goal is?
I mean, his goal is to like make it on stage and be actionable and possibly turn it into a reversal.
Sure, but like that's so vague. Like, what does he want? Like, what openings is he looking for?
Oh, got you. Like, what percent am I? Like ledge dash F smash or ledge dash grab, or like maybe like a fair from ledge sort of thing, just to if it looks like I'm gonna come in and go for something, he probably wants to like swap me somehow.
I suppose. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then on my end, I'm trying to catch his one when his invincibility runs out. So like either with the turnip or sometimes I'll like mix in dare to do like a dare nair sort of thing. Although I don't feel I feel better when Marth is like way off stage. I feel like I'm better at that mix-up game, but I don't really have a super robust game plan for when he's like ledge refreshing like this. My main two tools are just like mixing up turnip timings and like throwing in down air. But I feel like maybe there's more that I could be doing.
Yeah, why not? So let's start with this. So this is where this is going to represent Marth, and then we'll make one for you so that you can be here too. We'll make you blue as well, but we'll give you a slightly different fill. Perfect. Yeah, that looks nice. So with this in mind, so this is where you are, this is where he is. I want you to tell me where you think we put this turnip. We know that he's got the rings here, so he's coming up. What is it? Soft turnip throw that you have to do here?
There, yes. I think soft turnip throw.
Okay, where does just for posterity, where does strong turnip throw go?
There's like a little line like running parallel to the right edge of the rectangle. Like yeah, like diagonal up from exactly.
Perfect. So like there's a kind of like a point there that they kind of converge with like the velocities. Okay, cool. Or like diverge rather. Okay, cool. That all makes sense. Glad we could clarify that. So here's what I want to know. Do we ever like move from this position, or is this like ideal?
I like to move because I like to bait him. Like I like him to think that I'm gonna just run in because there's a chance that he might go for a bad aerial. Of course, then if I go in too much or too readily, then he can do the ledge dash reversal thing. But like, I think throwing in an occasional approach is probably fine.
Okay, and what are we approaching with?
I think usually by then I won't have a turnip in my hand, because the closer I get, the less likely it is to land unless I'm going to throw it fully down. So usually what I'll do is I'll throw it from where I currently am, and then if I come forward, I'll come in with like down air or maybe back air if I'm turned around or something. But then I basically am trying to like run back and forth between where I am and a little bit closer to ledge and get him to try to swat me.
Okay. And what are our turnip timings here? Like, do we have any other ways that we can vary the turnip here?
Yeah, usually I'll do some like double jump shenanigans. And oh, it's funny, I've never put this into words before. Usually I'll do some like double jump shenanigans and like come in, like jump forward, double jump back, throw a turnip forward, or vice versa sort of stuff.
Okay.
Every now and then I'll do a grounded turnip.
Here's a thought. What if we throw a turnip up on one of these and pull another one?
Like straight up.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because then we can fire two of them.
Right.
So,
wow, I've literally never considered that before. At least not in that spot.
Yeah, it's a little risky, but like if we think that he's gonna do a ledge refresh, like we can always like, or when he's at the bottom of this one, like, or as he's dropping off from it, like past about maybe about here. Like if he's like lower than here, then he can't really come up with anything important anyway. So, because his double jump would then put him on the ledge. Like he doesn't recover on stage at this point.
Right.
Because he has to be about here to ledge dash, ish. So as long as we're watching the rings, we should know. And yeah, we could just throw one up and fire two.
Yeah.
Because like firing the second one is probably pretty good.
Like when it comes back down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can shoot them together. You can also probably like throw one on the ground, grab the other, and then jump forward, grab the other one, and throw it down. Like because you have the other one protecting you, right?
Oh yeah, I like that.
You could also probably then use your jump with it. So like if that's the case, you could probably like structure your play a little bit further back because you're planning on using the air anyway. So you could actually like expand the range of places you can be to like something like maybe that's a little too far. Maybe like this. See what I mean? So you don't have to operate strictly from here.
Yeah.
So like it's important. So I think the thing with you, something I'm learning there is that So something I'm learning there is that you have a lot of sense of mix-ups in terms of like what you do once you're actually in a play, but like there is certain combinations of like you kind of I get the sense that you look at turnips as like once I have it I use this one, but like there's other things you can do with them. They're niche, but like throwing the turnip up allows you to kind of like set up prep a different one. These are like they're quite valuable when you use them like that. There's even like an argument that you might even throw this one like closer. Like you might even jump forward, throw it up, pull back, like DJC, like slapdash back, and then pull the next one. Because then you also have it like guarding a more relevant area in front of you. Like it's gonna go up and down, right? So it'll go up, and then it'll come down. I don't know if that's too risky, but like you see what I mean. Like there's ways that we can like use them in more. There's ways that we can use the like the delayed, kind of like we're kind of like delaying their fall, or like their delayed hit turnip kind of like. And then by doing that, we're able to control this space, like protect ourselves. Like it just keeps it in play for longer. We don't have to be so direct with it.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Do you feel like because I remember in one of the first lessons that we did, you pointed something out that was like very funny and good and like good for me to be aware of is like I would frame things in terms of like fear, like in game, especially in the Marth matchup. And so like I've tried to be a little bit more aware of that, and like I've realized that Peach actually really does have some stuff in this matchup. And so like, but sometimes I feel like when I'm not playing the matchup as well, it's because I'm like playing out of fear. And I'm wondering if that like comes into play in a situation like this, because I feel like this situation is such an easy reverse, or not easy execution wise, but just matchup wise. I feel like this could really easily turn south if I don't play it like perfect.
That's fair. Like it is like scary, but I guess my question here is like, what goes wrong here when you play it south? Like, because the way I look at this situation is that you have the entire stage behind you to DI if something goes wrong, unless he basically goes for down throw. So his options are go for down throw cheese or like hit you across the stage. And in order for him to do one of them, he has to grab you. So like that's a cue as to like what he might be doing. Everything else basically does its thing in the same direction, so you just DI with the stage and just work from there. So I guess what is so uniquely bad about like there being a reversal there? Do you get grabbed a lot?
It's definitely something that's happened to me a lot with very like not shield grabby, very ledge dashy Marths.
Okay.
Like if I play a little bit too go in like approachy there, then it's like it's one of the first things on my mind in that situation is like, okay, I have to be aware of the ledge dash so I don't get grabbed and thrown off stage and edge guarded to demise.
Yeah, and I bet that happens when you're pulling turnips a lot, doesn't it?
Yep. Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. So what we need to do is, to me, it sounds like are you not sure what Marth is doing when he comes up?
Yeah, or I like it sort of feels like I'm only aware of like 70 or 80% of his options there, and like the one that I'm forgetting about is the one that they do.
Okay, so like we need to like be able to organize how we like, so all of Marth's options, it's just that they seem to always like land on the one you're not ready for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so like let's look at this one. I want you to tell me without like looking at the main, without like scrolling ahead. So what is Marth doing right now?
Refreshing.
How do you know that?
Because he isn't gonna up B from there because it's dangerous, and either he's gonna like fall down super far and up B, but he can't land on stage from where he currently is.
Correct. So how we can summarize this, I would say, is we know he's going to refresh because he has to refresh.
Yeah.
Like, whether it's with up B or double jump is totally irrelevant for our purposes. Like, I guess it informs whether or not we pull a turnip, but we already have a turnip. So like once he's past a certain point on the stage, we don't have to worry about his like stuff about his offensive options anymore. Not immediately anyway. So where do you think that point would be? Like if we had to like tell me where where this line should be, that indicates that when can he not get back on stage efficiently?
When can he not get back on stage efficiently?
Yeah, like where should this line be?
I guess like where his cape is right now.
It's like here?
Like if he's there, he can make it on stage.
Okay, and where's the cutoff?
Ooh, that's a good question actually. I don't know if I fully know how big his double jump is, because my instinct is where you have the line now is like the lowest it could be.
It can be a little
but I'm
lower.
not sure.
He can be a little lower. I think that he's
okay.
I think it's about here.
Okay.
Because his double jump, you're right, his double jump is kind of small. So if he's below this point, really where he is now, if he's anywhere lower, because like where does his double jump goes if we had to track it from, like assuming that this is the base of his body, we'll just do like assuming that the base of his body is there. Okay, didn't do the fill. Why does the fill keep vanishing? It's really like blah. All right, whatever.
It has an agenda.
Honestly, it doesn't love me, and that's fair. But no, okay. So like the base of his body is here. I think that we can agree that his double jump goes about yay high.
Yeah, sure.
Like that looks about right, right?
Yep.
So he'll grab the edge here. Because like his edge grab boxes are about here, so if we move this up here, like yeah, it'll work. So with that in mind, what's an easy way that we can know what he's doing?
I guess how low down he goes.
Yeah, like where do the rings of the double jump appear? Like where did they appear relative to this line? Because if they're here, we know he's like refreshing. Like if they're I guess they'd be here technically. Like if they're here, we know they're refreshing. They're below the line. But if they're above the line, we know that we probably have to get ready for fighting, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well that makes sense. So
watch the ring.
Yeah, watch the ring. And then it's like we can't really get tricked because like if nothing else we know what options he has. So if we cover the wrong one, then we know why.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd never thought of it like that before. That's cool.
Yeah. Now, not every character has double jump rings, I think. I think there's like a handful of them that don't, but like they're pretty...
Wow, really?
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not, but I think that like a few of them don't. But there tend to be bad characters, so like don't worry about it. All of the ones that we fight regularly do. So
yeah,
nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I was missing a bunch of text. I don't feel as bad about that stuff. That's kind of like that's not a consistent issue that I have.
Well,
sometimes
also,
just happens.
Yeah, also, like, it's something he has control over to some degree. Like, missing techs, he could just be going for tech lockouts and stuff, right? So,
yeah.
All it takes is just him keeping you in the air for one more hit before he goes for, like, the knockdown. So, that's... Yeah, I feel like that's not some... Unless it becomes, like, an ongoing problem, I feel like it's sometimes the opponent just wins the 50-50s. Like, it is what it is.
Sure.
Like, no need for us to, like... sweat that stuff. Talk to me about this dash attack out of the corner.
Yeah, I don't know. I think could we maybe look at it in slow motion? I feel like maybe I was reacting to something, but it might have just been a raw.
I think this was a panic button.
Probably. Yeah. Oh, I saw the little dash dance. But it definitely was a panic.
Let's talk about this spot, because I feel like this is like an easy spot for us to lose in. So, I feel like it is a classic. It's a time-honored tradition of Peaches when Marth is dash dancing very far away for them to throw out the worst dash attack you've ever seen.
Sure.
And like everyone's done it. My Peach has done it. I'm not throwing shade. It's part of how he beats. Like it's part of why he wins the matchup. Like he is he's able to provoke those kinds of reactions with his superior speed and range. But what are some things that we can use to know that maybe he is up to no good? Right? Because that's something useful.
Yeah. I guess being aware of if he's entered run.
Yeah. Has he entered? Where does he enter run? So let's look at his starting. Let's look at the match a little bit. So if we go back one more time, we'll speed this up to normal speed. Where does he enter? Where does he start from on this play? So he does this F smash. We come back. So let's now slow down.
We're dashing back.
So he trotted from here to here. So like this is about the distance he's working with. So then he comes back this way. So these are pretty tight dash dances.
Yeah.
Like he's working in a very, very small zone. So I would say, would you say like the place he's working within was maybe like from here to here?
That looks about right.
Yeah. So let's make a mental representation. If he wanted to enter run, where would he do it? Like from here, where would run be?
Around the maybe a little bit less than that. Maybe.
Like here?
Yeah.
This looks about right to me. With that in mind, so we know that this point represents run. So we're gonna mark that. He's not even close to this. Like,
yeah.
Like there's like even if he enters run, like he still has counterplay for dash attacks. I think the next question is like even if he's doing it, like is it worth going for?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm asking.
If he is running, is it worth to go for the dash attack? You said.
Yeah. Like it's not. I don't think it's obvious. Like I think that there's pros and cons to it.
Yeah, I don't know if he can. Can he crouch cancel that at this percent?
I'm more worried about him shielding.
Oh, sure. Right.
Like, I'm worried about him doing this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if,
run up shield.
Yeah, I feel like at this distance, like, there's kind of I feel like at this kind of distance in general, there's kind of like an unspoken thing that happens in Marth versus Peach, where if the Marth is moving towards us a lot, like, if they're not swinging, they're probably going to shield. Or back off. You know what I mean? Like, I think we've seen that, like, that dynamic, like, a lot. And I think the big thing here is, like, he's not really committed to anything. He's not really actually committed to anything, because if his character model is basically, like, here right now, because he's leaning forward, but if he stands up, this is where he's going to be. This is a lot of distance for us to cover. And if he hasn't really committed to, like, a specific movement, like run, like, to anything that, like, strands his movement even somewhat, I just don't really know what we should... Like, I really don't know what we should be doing here. I don't think it's dash attack, but I don't know what the solution is. What do you think are some things that could work here?
I mean, the knee-jerk, what comes to mind is, like, a very small undershoot Nair, or like maybe even a down tilt. I'm not sure about the down tilt, but like I feel like turnip isn't safe because that's reactable at this range. I feel like if I throw out a fast little hitbox, if it whiffs, then he might want to come in and punish it. But if it's FC, then like that could be good for me.
Yeah, so like down tilting here, you have the pullback, you go into crouch, so you're not likely to die. It forces him to grab you to like punish it. You could also do like Nair, which would hit like in this general area like here. I think that those are both like really good ideas.
Okay.
I think that they make a ton of sense based on like the needs of the situation. They're low lag. They're like relatively low lag. They put you into good defensive stances or actionable afterwards. So like I don't think that there's anything wrong with either of those. I think the Nair makes a ton of sense. I think the one thing that I want to consider, the one thing I'd want to probably suggest is we do it above down tilt, right?
Do the Nair above down tilt.
Yeah, like we'd float it about this height and we come down quickly.
Yeah.
So, like, the idea would be is if he enters run around here and goes for down tilt, then we're good. And if he shields, we're also good.
Sure.
Yeah. I really like that. I think that makes
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Would you say that that's mostly, like, when I'm this close to the edge, or would you say that's mostly in this, like, when we're in this range against Marth?
I would say it's both. I'd say that there's reasons to do this at this range, and then on top of that, the fact that we're near the edge encourages us to do it even more.
Okay.
Because, like, let's be real here. Marth, like, we've identified two things that Marth does pretty commonly in this kind of position. He's likely to run into down tilt. He's likely to run into shield. Our play addresses both of those. There are things that he has that it doesn't beat, sure. But, like, it's still dealing with two pretty key tools to, like, how he fights us in this kind of position. And how he, like, checks us for dash attack. So I don't think that this is bad. Like, I think that those are two really useful things. Should we be doing it if he's jumpy? No. But, like,
No.
But, I mean, he's also been dash dancing tightly. And he's now, like, advancing. Like, you know, if he's been shielding a lot in these games, too. So I think that this is quite sensible.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing that happened yesterday at the weekly is I beat the Marth player that I lost to at this tournament that we're watching now. Not Koopa, SF.
Yeah.
And I noticed, I felt, and sometimes it happens where you just have like total galaxy brain and like everything just makes sense and you're just like ultra instinct. And I noticed that he has this great ability to like basically adjust really quickly, and if I do an option that works on him one time, it usually only works on him once. But then I started being able to adjust to his adjustment, and like I don't know, I feel like something kind of unlocked yesterday that felt very cool, and it's because I did VOD review for that set. So I think what you were saying earlier about just like the out of game habits is like super true.
Yeah, like for example, can you be like Koopa here goes on and it decides to like stall the edge. Do you know how you beat that? Like when you're like here?
I'm not sure because I don't think I can. If I down smash there, I don't think it would hit him, right? Because I think he's invincible still. Like if I power shield down smash that.
Yeah. So we probably have to like do something else. There's like there's a really simple solution that I feel like gets overlooked against the fairs.
Here,
I'll point it out. So like,
is it because oh, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So right here, you could have hit him, but like right here you could have hit him. You could have easily down smashed him, but there's something else you could do like when you're closer to him. What I would say is like, what do you think would happen if you crouch canceled that fair and ran off and aired?
Crouch cancel the fair.
Run off Nair.
Run off Nair. I can sort of conceive of that. It's like ringing Triff bells for me. I don't know if I've ever done that before.
Yeah, so how do you think that would work? Do you think it would work?
I mean, I get. Can I see that interaction one more time?
Yeah, so like, let's just here watch it all. All we're doing is we're getting close to the edge, really close to it, so we can threaten down smash while he's coming up. And then we are like, while holding down, if he hits us with that fair, then we just run off and nair him.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because for some reason when I'm looking at it in my head, I feel like it's too slow. But
like, look at how much time he takes to grab the edge. He doesn't grab it right away. Like, look at this one.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Yeah, I totally see it.
Yeah, like
so instead of shielding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're dealing with the fair, we're not dealing with the up B. The down smash is like, we do the down smash on the up B just to like see if we get like the kill, just to see if we do it. But like if we don't get it, then who cares? Like we're holding down, we're in our lane, we're happy. We get hit, we ASDI down and forward, and then like he comes up and fairs us, we like DI down and forward, and he's like, yes, I got the peach, and then we run off and nair him, and he's like, oh, never mind, I did not get the peach.
Yeah.
You can also like technically narrative shield on that, like float narrative shield on the fair, but like it's really, really hard. It's like
tight, yeah.
It's so hard.
That's like Wally, like he would do stuff like that.
Turnip throw out of shield isn't bad either. Like, if he comes up in fairs, you just, like, get into a spot where you can throw the turnip at him after. But then you have to be close to him with the turnip. But that can be kind of good as a bait, because then he wants to come up because you're on stage with him with a turnip. Like, because you're, like, close to the ledge with turnip. So then you can, like, dash away and pivot, like, you know, turn around and throw the turnip back at him. Like, there's a lot of baiting games, I feel like, with the turnip that, like, you do on stage, but you don't do at the edge.
Yeah, sure.
Like, there's a lot of solutions on the table. Also, you promised me in no uncertain terms that you got mollywopped here. And, like...
Yeah, that is kind of how I remembered it, but that's definitely not what's happening.
Yeah, like, this looks competitive. Like, this is real competitive. Your last stock, like, with Koopa, like, in Peach Marth, like, god dang. You're doing well. This looked good. You had, like, the... Oh, my god, okay. So what do you think you do after that Nair down, like, that back air down smash? Like, talk to me about, like, this follow-through, and what do you think the plan is? So you get
back
this.
Air. Down smash. Does he tech? No tech. Dash attack. Like, pop up dash attack.
We could. Let me ask you though. What do you think the odds are that he's holding down right now? Because holding down would be good versus like dash attack, nair, that kind of thing, right? Like it's probably not unreasonable that he's holding down.
You're saying when he misses the tech?
Yeah.
I guess I could down smash again.
I mean, like, yeah, why not?
Do you think I should like run over to him, or should I just like do it from where I was?
Yeah, just do it in place.
Yeah.
He hasn't earned the right. He hasn't earned like us doing proper. Like he hasn't earned us running over. Also, the other thing that makes some amount of sense, because I know Nair, like even if you float cancel Nair him here, it will. Actually, yeah. Let's talk about this spot in general. So you're saying dash attack. I think that dash attack is very good here. I think this is actually one of the rare spots where I'm a big fan of float cancel Nair here.
Okay.
Why do you think I like float cancel Nair? What do you see, like, what appeals to you about it, if anything?
Because because we're close to ledge and we're in a good spot so that if he were to Omsa tech or something, that we would be able to tech chase pretty effectively. And if he DIs wrong, it could like start up a combo that gets him off stage.
Yeah, like if he Omsa techs this way when we hit him, then like we're good. What happens if he techs in place instead? We still get him, right?
The Nair is still, if I keep it out, the hitbox still hits.
Well, you don't have to keep it out. We just hit on like frame 21 through 26. Like we hit a third of a second in, so it overlaps with the no tech, like the no tech's vulnerability.
Oh, I see.
And it also hits the tech in place vulnerability. And then
but we're taking a beat before the Nair?
Yeah.
Like a slight little beat?
Yeah, teensy beat.
Yeah.
A third of a second.
Sure.
Well, from when he hits the ground, because like we also have lag. We also have our end lag to worry about from the down smash. But yeah, like basically we're not acting right away. So like we would be acting to hit him about here. So then what happens here is if he techs in place or no techs, we get him. If he rolls to the edge, we can just like we're landing anyway, so we can just like run forward and get him anyway. The only thing we're bad against kind of is him rolling through us, but even then sometimes we can still weak hit dash attack him.
Right.
So we cover everything.
Yeah, it kind of was hard reading the tech in.
That's okay. Again, you didn't know. But like now that we know, like this looks nasty. And what's really, really sick about this is that even if you mess up like the timing on some of the outcomes, like let's say you mess up the timing completely on like the no tech here. Let's say you miss completely, but you're still like moving towards him and nairing and then landing and then landing. Look at what he does.
Yeah.
So then if you're moving towards him, landing an auto cancel, and you just barely miss him, if you see that coming, like him getting up like that, you just block.
Yeah.
Free shield grabber, narrow to shield, like or FC narrow to shield, like we're good. Like we're totally fine with that.
Totally. Was from right before that happened when he hit me with the get up attack? Do you think I would have had time to ASDI down?
The problem is it wouldn't make a difference on get up attack because it still has enough power to knock you over. So this is it's actually good that you didn't do that because I think the Marth has a much higher chance of hitting the tech chase on like the get up attack than he does of hitting you out of the air.
Okay. Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, like you recovered into a combat position, like you're in float at like mid range versus Marth. Is it ideal? No, but like, is it like unserviceable? Absolutely not. Like you have game there. If you're in knockdown and you happen to like, or you like accidentally tech roll into him or something like that, or tech in place and he like runs over and grabs you, like God, like life is miserable. We don't want that. So yeah, no, your play was fine.
Okay.
Honestly, your plays this game have generally been fine. There's little things, but they are like mainly little. There's little things and knowledge gaps, but like it is main. I think that as you do VOD review and build this habit, because I think that we agree this is very clearly like a good. Yeah, this is a heartbreaker.
That miss grab hurts so bad.
Oh, so let me ask you. So why are you?
Yeah.
Why grab here?
Yeah, I don't think I looked at his percent. I think in my mind it's like he's there. Let me just grab him and get him off. Get him off stage.
Gotcha. So let's map this out a little bit.
Yeah.
So like, if we have this opportunity come up again, like let's figure this out. So you're actionable here.
Yep.
What do you think we should do?
Probably full hop Nair. Maybe. Or if, because he's helpless now, I think.
Yeah, he is.
Because he just did the FP.
He's super screwed.
So, yeah. So my first instincts would be either full hop Nair or pop up dash attack.
I see a checkmate here, or a possible checkmate here. So it involves a little bit of technical skill, so it's not easy, but like, hear me out here.
Okay.
Dash forward, float cancel Nair, float cancel weak hit Nair.
Yeah, to keep him in the air and get him off stage.
And then and then full hop strong hit Nair here. Or like full hop fair, if we can do it.
Yeah, that's good. I have been realizing recently that I don't really do a lot of weak hit Nair setups. I do a lot of weak hit bear stuff, but I don't really do very much weak hit Nair. So yeah, that's good.
So like, you can see the utility of this, right? Because it's just like boom, boom. Like he goes off, like we're hitting him off from here. So he goes off like into the stratosphere somewhere around like one of these like points. And then because we're closer to the edge on our end, we have a much easier edge guard because we're in position for the turnip. Like we just grab turnip here, we're like wherever he goes, we deal with it. He has no jump. Like what the heck does he do? If we don't want to pull the turnip because he goes low and we want to like just jump off and intercept, we also have like we're close to the edge. Like everything's within reach. So this is like I think this is like weak Nair, strong Nair, and like the reason the other one that like seems really good to me here is just like you could also do this with back air actually. You could just like back air this way, like soft back air into like jump like Nair, that kind of thing. Yeah, so we can also do that. I actually don't like the pop-up dash attack here. If I dash attack, I want the push hit because I just want him off at a bad I want him off at a bad angle. That is the name of the game here.
Yeah.
Do you see how we like arrived at this conclusion for like, so what are the factors that made this good though? Because like that's really the important part. So what do you think are the big things that make like this double Nair thing or bear Nair or bear or whatever it is, like what makes them good? What are the goals here?
To put him in a combo where he just stays in hit stun and can't really get out, like to basically make it so that his only hope is like correct DI. Yeah,
so we're forcing a recovery. So like that's like part of it, but why is this so powerful here? Like why are we putting so much effort into hitting him out of the air?
Why are we trying to hit him out of the air? Oh, so he doesn't get his jump back.
Right.
So he doesn't touch the ground. Yeah.
And that's really like the key here. No jump.
Yeah.
And then like with that, what's the other factor? We have like mid %. It's just why we can like combo these things together. Mid % allows combo. Allows combo. And why do you think like where do you think he's holding? Do you think he's holding it like and without if you're a Marth without a jump, where do you think you're holding?
In, yeah. In all the time.
Right, so we can extrapolate DIing in. So that's how that's why this is good. Now, like, is there any other factors that make this strong? There's one more I can see. Where are you?
I'm not sure.
If Marth was here, would this work?
No.
Why not?
Because we're too far from ledge.
Right, so we're close to what?
Corner.
Right, close to edge. So these are the factors that make this work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with
Got
this,
it. Okay.
so does this make more sense? Does it like how we like make the because this is now like a real framework for deciding how you go for those heavier punishes, isn't it?
Totally.
So this is kind of probably going to help you kill people better, right?
Yep.
Hype. I can't wait to see it.
No jump, mid%. Yeah. Close to edge corner. Yeah.
All right, so I actually have my next one with Swizz starting now, so I do have to go. But this was, you're happy with this? This was helpful? You're good?
Yeah, super helpful. I have a lot to think about.
Amazing. Michael, it's always a pleasure. Let's talk soon let's talk soon, or not, whatever, because I think that you mentioned that you're probably going to stay for a bit, but like, whenever you're ready to come back, just let me know. And in the meantime,
awesome.
Good luck with all this stuff. It's fun.
Will do. Thank you so much.
All right, later.